How to buy property if you have no money saved. Yo boss, what's up? Adrian here with Hasta Vista boss, the place for ambitious people like you and I. We talk about how to create a side hustle, make it profitable, quit our job, become our own boss.
Yeah, I know sometimes it's hard when you get the feeling you just want to quit your job. We've all had that thought. This is what you want. Time to tune in. Hasta la vista, boss. Yeah, for my side hustlers who never stop. Quit your job and making your own profits. Become your own boss. Live life on your terms. Make it happen for real. This is what you deserve. Yeah. Hasta la vista, boss. Subscribe, have fun, and enjoy the ride. Let's go.
Let me ask you a question. Are you that type of person that no matter what you do, you simply cannot save any money? If the answer to the question is yes, then don't feel bad about it. You're not alone. I'm the same. But even though I didn't manage to save any money, I did manage to get on the property ladder and buy my first rental property. And we'll talk about how I did that in just a minute. As a matter of fact, at the time I'm recording this video, I own 2 rental properties from my property side hustle that I'm running together with my beautiful wife. So in this video I'm gonna share with you my magic potion and my secrets. Listen, there's no secrets, you just have to get creative. Just a quick disclaimer here boss before we move on. As you know, if you follow Hasta la Vista boss YouTube channel, you know that I talk about stuff that I do, that I have experience with. This is not something I read in a book and come and make a video about it just to, you know, sound smart. My intention with this video is to at least spark some ideas in your brain and start looking for solutions. I'm not going to be like so many YouTubers out there. They gotta say this is the best way, this is the only way to buy rental property. Listen, there's many ways to skin a cat and this is just one of them. And by the way, I'm just saying, don't skin any cats, okay? Maybe it's not the smartest financial decision, I don't know, since I'm not the financial expert, but I'm the type of person who I like to learn every day, and I like to take action on the things that I've just learned. Otherwise, it's just gonna be useless information stored in your brain. Anyway, boss, share with me your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to know what you think about this. Grab a coffee and let's talk about it. So how I did it? Well, as you know, if you want to buy a property, you have to have either money to buy the property in cash, or you have to have part of the money to put down as a deposit or down payment, whatever you call it in your country, and finance the rest, aka mortgage. Which one I did? Well, I went with number 2. I gave a deposit and I financed the rest. Wait a minute, bro, you just said you didn't have money saved. Where did you get the money from? I knew it. I knew you're gonna be just clickbaity like all these other YouTubers out there. No boss, this is not clickbait. I did say that I didn't have the money saved, but here's what I did. I took a personal loan with my bank of 20,000 pounds that I used as a deposit. And if this sounds crazy to you boss, before you start throwing rotten vegetables at me, here's my thought process of borrowing the money and use it as a deposit. I could have started saving 450 to 500 pounds per month during 5 years, and that would allow me to save around 20,000 pounds, which was more or less the amount that I needed in order to put down as a deposit for my first rental property as an investment. But since we already established that I'm a person just like you that want to buy and want to invest into property, but I cannot save the money to put down as a payment, and plus I came late into the investment game and I have a lot to catch up to do. I simply don't want to wait another 5 years just to get the money to start investing. I want a piece of action today. So I said, what can I do to get 20,000 pounds faster and make my first investment as soon as possible? Yeah, well, you know, robbing a bank is gonna give me a lot of praise, but it's not the praise that I want. Let's see what else we have. Becoming a guru. Yeah, that could work. I mean, you don't need to have any skills, but I still have to pay for the ads, so that's gonna take some time as well. It's not fast enough. What else? You're right, getting a loan.
But bro, you have to pay interest. Did you know that?
Of course you're gonna pay some interest on that money, but hey, guess what? That's business. They're gonna make some money, I'm gonna make some money, because borrowing the money will enable me to actually buy this property, which otherwise I could not buy anyway since I don't have the money. And I can rent the property as soon as I buy it and start making money with it. The money I made with the property allowed me to pay for the mortgage, for the loan. Not all the time, to be honest, because sometimes I had to put money from my pocket since the property was not rented the whole year. And this is something that not all YouTubers are gonna tell you. But if having said that, the property kind of paid for itself. The awesome tenants that I had, they paid for my property. So the bank can be our friend. The bank can be our partner in business if you want. So I don't suggest you listen to all these YouTubers out there that keep talking about, you should not pay interest. Interest is for stupid. Personally, I don't mind paying interest. You have to keep in mind that I'm using someone else's money to make money for myself. So I don't think that's stupid. Actually, I think that's quite smart. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. A great alternative would be for you to borrow the money from your family. It's gonna be cheaper. The debt is not gonna show up on your credit score report, of course. Unfortunately, I don't have anybody in my family with 20,000 pounds laying around. What do you need to do in order for this to work? Number one, extremely important. I can't stress this enough. You have to make sure you are going to be able to pay your loan plus your future property monthly costs. Plus, you need to have enough money for you to live wherever you are. So do your homework before you get into this. Don't rush. Take your time. Learn about the topic. It took us 1 year before we decided to press the button and buy our first rental property. And it's not that we didn't do anything for 1 year and then all of a sudden we decided to buy a rental property. It was quite the opposite. We've been educating ourselves daily about buying properties, about mortgages, about financing, about the area that we wanted to buy, as I say in this video here, talking to the local people, real estate agents, banks, just in general, making friends and networking. So we've done a lot of things to educate ourselves in order to make the best possible decisions. Number two, credit score. In order to do this, you need to have a fair/good credit score. Mine wasn't perfect, but I had no debts on my name, and I kind of did that on purpose. And what I'm trying to say is, if you want to apply for a mortgage or a loan in the near future, you should try to make your credit score report look very nice. And don't have, don't apply for credit cards like 6 or 8 months before applying for a mortgage. Don't buy a car, try to make it easy to get accepted. As well, make sure you have no late payments on your credit score report. Of course, the late payments are going to stay for years on your credit score report, and you don't want that. So make sure you pay those on time. As well, you don't want to have too many or too much debt on your credit cards. If you have any credit cards, there's nothing bad with that. I have credit cards, I use them, I have debt on them, but make sure you're not late with the payments as well, and don't have too much, right? Pay them in full if you can. The cleaner your credit score report looks, the easier you're going to be approved for a loan. But anyway, don't stress too much about this. You don't have to have the perfect credit score, like I said. The good thing of having a higher credit score though is that the higher it is, the better deals you're gonna get with lower interest rates. And if you have no credit score history at all, check out this video in which I share with you how I build my credit score from non-existent to above national average. Number 3, the location. The location you're gonna buy your property, it has to be somewhere where you can afford to buy the property. I mean, you can't take a personal loan of 100,000 euros, pounds, dollars, or whatever. You have to look for properties in areas that you can buy. If you live in London, you definitely have to go outside London. If you live in, Los Angeles, you have to go outside of Los Angeles. Yes, you might not become millionaire if you buy cheap properties like I bought my first property, but you will become wealthy as your portfolio of property grows, as your properties gain in value, as your property gain in value, you pay down your mortgage, you gain equity in this property, and you can take this equity out and invest it in a new property. And it's kind of a snowball effect, right? The more you do it, the bigger the ball is gonna get. But let me tell you something, none of this will happen if you don't start somewhere, right? So we decided to invest in Spain. Number 4. Now this is best when done in couple. Why? Because one of you can take the loan, the other one can take the mortgage. So why would you do that? Because as you might know, the bank will do the background checks, they will do the affordability checks and all that good stuff. And when one of you will go to the bank with, with 20,000 pounds in your bank account and no debts and all that, well, it's gonna be super easy for you to be approved for a mortgage. These are awesome tools that we can use in order to build our wealth, especially at the beginning, especially for guys like you and I. Maybe I don't know you, but I had to earn everything I have in life. I never had anything, so I worked hard for every little thing that I have. So this is going to be at the beginning, maybe you don't have to do this again, this strategy. Maybe for the second property you're gonna buy, you might use the equity that you have in the first one to buy a second one. Maybe your financials are gonna be better in the next few years, fingers crossed. Just I want to remind you boss that if you want to jump into this, make sure you can pay. It's gonna be a little bit complicated at the beginning as you start owning the property, as you have to do some improvements and all that. But as you go on the property, you are going to rent it. The rent is gonna pay for the expenses, hopefully gonna make some profits as well. Yeah, just keep that in mind. Make sure you can pay. Now maybe this is the most complicated route to buy a rental property, boss, but this is my experience and I want to share it with you. I hope at least inspire you to start thinking about things. There's one thing that you cannot do, and that is cross your arms and say, well, I don't have money. Well, find it. The money is out there. Get creative, boss, and get your first rental property. Watch any of these 2 videos here if you want to catch up with other content on Hasta La Vista Boss YouTube channel.
And remember, stay focused because we're going to get rid of that boss, okay?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for watching.